Good evening, guys, and welcome to another exciting night of sports talk. So first, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Detroit Tigers and how much, I am disappointed in them. While they are only 2 games under 500 and only 2 games out of first, let's take it into some context here. They play in one of the worst divisions in baseball. They are night in, night out, a hard watch. I mean, sometimes they'll have a good night hitting the ball, but that's about it. And Riley Green and Erod being hurt really kills this team. Because, because obviously he's our best hitter in the lineup, but Erod hurts more only from the standpoint that if he's hurt, we can't trade him. And we need to trade him to get some prospects in return. Because let's be honest. This team is not very good. They're not going to be competitive. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Just a head scratcher. But yeah, this team is not very good. And look, I think that look, even if they made the playoffs this year, they'd have no success. What's the point of making the playoffs if you're not going to have any success whatsoever? And this team just cannot hit with men on base, especially. So here are the guys that I want to see gone. Cabrera, obviously, Scope, Rogers, Haas, and Ibanez. Those are the 6 guys I do not want back next year at all. I think they got to overhaul the roster a lot. They got to get some guys in here that can hit the ball and get on base. I trust Scott Harris to do the job, and I think if we give him time, this team will be good. All right, now let's talk about Monty Williams. Monty Williams is a great hire for the Pistons. Just one of those home run hires that I never expected that Tom Gorse would do. For all the shit I gave Tom Gorse over the years, and trust me, he's deserved a lot of it. This Monty hire is one of the best hires probably in Detroit sports history. But let's see what he does. And again, I trust... Look, let's just put it this way. Sorry, I'm slurring my words a lot. I'm just really tired. But Troy Weaver, with that hire, saved his... sorry about that. Job. And that is a hire that I never in a million years would have thought Tom Gorse would have made. But a huge hire nonetheless. And, yeah, big-time hire. I expect the Pistons to get better next year. Still kind of want to get rid of Killian Hayes because Killian Hayes is god-awful. And I just don't think he will cut it for us at point guard. In the draft, I would not mind taking Cam Whitmore at all. I think he can be a great player for us. And look, we got screwed in the lottery. First of all, I don't even think there should be a draft lottery because I think the draft lottery prevents bad teams from having a chance to become good. And look, there's nothing wrong with tanking. Nothing wrong with it. And yeah, I think Ivy develops. I think Cunningham develops. I expect to see Wiseman maybe get a little better. Still don't understand the Bay for Wiseman trade, but whatever. Isaiah Stewart got to beef up his shooting a little bit. Love the kid. Very tough guy. All right, let's talk about... Okay, so I'm going to do 4 hot takes for college football, 4 hot takes for NFL, and then we're going to get into the Stanley Cup and the NBA Finals. 4 college football hot takes is hot take number 1. I think Billy Napier gets fired before November. I think Florida is going to be absolutely awful this year, and he will be let go before the calendar hits November. And I think Florida, once again, looks for a new direction. Losing Anthony Richardson is obviously going to hurt that team. Next hot take. Ready? Washington wins the Pac-12 and makes the college football playoff. Look, I think the Pac-12's loaded with them, Oregon, Utah, USC. Those 4 teams will definitely be top 4 in the Pac-12. But yeah, speaking of that, I think the Pac-12 could be I think the Pac-12 could be the second best conference in college football this year behind the SEC. And yes, I think it could be better than the Big Ten. Third hot take. Florida State wins the ACC. Florida State's going to win the ACC this year. I think this is the year that Jordan Travis has a breakout year, and I could just totally see them being good for sure. I think they'll win the ACC with 2 losses. They won't be in the playoff, but they will make a very good bowl game. Take number 4. Wisconsin will be leading in the Big Ten championship game against Michigan going into the 4th quarter. Look, I think Luke Fickell is going to do tremendous things for that football program, and I totally expect Wisconsin to win the West this year. Bringing in that transfer QB, Morsadi from SMU, big time get. I think Fickell will definitely change the offense. They might become more of a pro style, whereas they were more run balanced under Paul Chryst. And by the way, Paul Chryst just stopped recruiting for some reason. But yeah, Michigan's going to win the Big Ten again this year. Returning Corum, Edwards, J.J. McCarthy, Cornelius Johnson, who's probably our best receiver. But one thing Michigan is missing is that big-time elite receiver. Got to go get that. All right, let's do 4 NFL hot takes. Hot take number 1. The Detroit Lions will go into Arrowhead Week 1 and come out with a W. Look, I think this Lions team and this franchise is taking a new direction. I think Campbell and Holmes and Sheila Ford, great regime. I think you can tell there's a difference with this Lions teams and teams of the past. They believe in each other. And I think Jared Goff shocks the world Week 1. And the Lions come out on top in Kansas City by a score of 35-28. Hot take number 2. All right, let me think about this one. The New York Giants will miss the playoffs this year. Look, I think Daniel Jones is... I think he's okay, but I just don't think the Giants have enough around him. I think the Giants this year will be like 8-9, 7-10, miss the playoffs probably. My third hot take is Bill Belichick will retire after this season. Look, it's pretty clear that Bill Belichick was only a good or great coach because of Tom Brady. Without Tom Brady, he would have probably been fired in New England. I just have never understood all the Belichick hype. Never have, never will. I think this is his last year coaching, and then he retires. Fourth hot take. The Miami Dolphins will shock the world. Or no, that's not one. I don't think the Dolphins will win the East. I think it'll probably be the Bills. My fourth hot take is that the Raiders trade up next year to try and get the number 1 pick and take Caleb Williams. I just don't think Jimmy G is going to cut it for them. All right, now let's move on to the NBA Finals. My prediction. I think Denver wins in 5. I think Jimmy Butler runs out of gas, and I just think Jokic and Murray just go off. NHL Stanley Cup Finals prediction. I think this is going to be one hell of a series, and this is going to be one of those series that makes people realize why they love sports. I think we're going to have a 7-game series, but I think I'll be nice to Miami. I think Florida wins in 7 games, but I think this will be one hell of a series. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. May God bless you all and have a good night.